So I remember when I first heard that Liesl had gone missing, my world essentially stopped. All of a sudden I became one of those people that happened to, and I the world just stopped for me. And I think it took a good 12 months before it felt like it started back up again and took me with it. And that was something that I wasn't prepared for. You get the news that your sister's missing, and you want everyone to jump on board and do everything that they can. And Lauren O'Keefe, founder of MPAN, which is now known as the Mist Foundation, put it quite well in terms of, you expect what you see on TV to occur. You expect the dogs and you expect all the police force, and we had nothing. We really didn't get any of that. And from what I understand, that's a lot of other people's experiences that have got missing people as well, is that everyone else tends to, or it seems to go on with their daily lives like nothing's happened, and you're standing in the middle of it all, feeling like, well, hang on, my sister's missing, this is important, why aren't you doing anything? And it's a very discombobulating feeling, in all honesty. Work goes on, life goes on, and you can't stop it. No matter what you want done or how you want things done, life still goes on. But for you, it seems to stop.
Yeah, it's a couple of points that you've raised there, and you articulated it very well. But firstly, there's a disconnect from us. When I say us, people that haven't been impacted like you and your family have been impacted, because we watch it play out on TV. Someone's gone missing, and you'd be thinking, "Oh, that would be bad," but then it's a fleeting thought, and then you get on with your life. And it's really the type of situation that you never think that you would find yourself in. And I think that's why people, we almost, and I hate to say it, but become desensitised to it because it gets reported that often. And okay, well, that's happened. Let's move on. But you articulated it very well that, you want the world to stop. Your loved one is missing. Something terrible has happened. Your worst thoughts would be going through your mind. Why is the world carrying on as usual? How can people celebrate a weekend coming up? Or how can people look forward to anything because you've got your loved one missing? Is that the type of deep emotion you feel?
Yeah, it is. I liken it to what I do for work. So my background is critical care and emergency in ICU, and I was working in ICU towards the end. But initially, when I found out that Lisa was missing, I was in remote WA, and I was doing, my initial background is emergency, and I have seen some very interesting and very tragic things occur in the course of my career. I'm a registered nurse, and I have had to constantly remind myself that, yes, this is what I do. I love what I do. I empathise, with a lot of the patients that I care for and have cared for. And yes, I do it, as a career, but I am constantly aware of that while that's my career, I can still step away from it. And, for the people that whatever has occurred, especially tragic situations, that has occurred to them, it's the worst day of their lives, and they're going through that experience for the first time ever. They may or may not ever go through something similar again, and, it's all new for them. And I liken to finding out Liesl going missing to being put in that position. People that you come into contact with that, for example, police, that do their job such as this on a day in, day out basis. My experience is certainly that some do forget that. What you're going through, you've never experienced before, and some compassion.
Understand that, because what you're talking about in the emergency section of a hospital, people can be, and we've all encountered doctors in those situations that they're, a little bit aloof and just, okay, well, you've got 6 months to live, that type of commentary, and then walk out the door. A little bit of humanity, compassion and empathy, you've just nailed it. It makes such a difference, doesn't it? If anyone in that position, whether it be in the medical section or in policing, that carries a lot, doesn't it?
It does, and I think it's that human connection that, someone who doesn't know you from a bar of soap can sit and just listen. You don't expect them to fix the problem, realistically, that there's no possible way of the problem being fixed, but you've at least connected on a human level. You've been listened to and you've been heard, and it's been recognised that what you're experiencing, for want of a better word, really sucks, and just that recognition, I think, is what anybody wants or needs, or even if they can't verbalise it, desires in that moment of, experiencing such a tragedy or, whatever situation's going on for them. And I think that gets lost these days by any number of people. And I think that the meaning and I guess the meaningfulness of it and the impact it has on someone is not to be underestimated.